and 3.
I'm happy to join this very important meeting virtually on future extension innovations and evidence. My name is Max Olupot. I work for AFAAS, the African Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services. This presentation is focused on the field schools experience in Eastern Africa, and my focus here will be mainly on advisory services and agribusiness for smallholder farmers, but in the context of the field school. As you know, a number of studies have been done documenting experiences, but mainly focus on large and medium scale farmers. Less has been done on smallholder farmers, and we need to put effort to this context. A question also arises on subsistence farmers versus smallholder farmers. Where is our focus? I leave that discussion to the group, to the team here. I want to briefly mention about the evolution of field schools from the time it was focused on production to now, where it has diversified to deal with the issues of climate change, water for production, pastoral field schools, junior field schools, farmer forestry schools, farmer business schools, marketing schools as promoted by ADRA and other important organizations. This evolution shows that we are moving away from all production to addressing the issues of the markets. This is now in the context of the value chain, but also agribusiness. The field school has been implemented for a number of years, especially in East Africa, and because of the diversity of the actors, FAO led the production of what we call the Farmer Field School Guidance Document, which we are now using for quality assurance, but also institutionalization. This is critical in ensuring the quality in the schools. Briefly about the East African Field School Hub, it is in the context that a number of field school interventions have been done for the last 20 years, and adaptation is been taking place. Climate change issues for business schools and others. There's also increasing demand for knowledge management, and therefore it is quality is paramount. Emergence of regional networks and institutionalization of the RAS approaches is one thing which again comes to play. The East African Field School mandate is to provide a platform for institutionalization and oversight on quality implementation of the field school. Its vision is more about how farmers and agro-pastoralists' livelihoods can be transformed. And the mission is to be a leading regional center of excellence on quality field school implementation in East Africa. Of course, there is a lot of learning with other regions. Its role is to provide strategic guidance and leadership on field school approach in the region, facilitate knowledge generation and sharing, championing policy dialogue and advocacy, facilitate skills and competence development and accreditation process, which is also consistent with the new extension learning kit and some policies in other countries on accreditation issues, professionalization. It ensures that the field school approach is maximized for achievement of food and nutrition security. It also fosters and strengthens strategic public-private partnerships which are critical. Just to highlight one important element of the field school in terms of agribusiness and advisory services is what we call farmer business schools. A farmer business school is a program of learning designed to help smallholder farmers to produce for markets and to make their farms work profitably. It is an avenue that brings farmers together. Of course, when people do collective marketing, we need them to come together and collaborate through working together to approach the market in a coherent way. It is a forum for sharing zone approach where people study, they discuss, they experiment, and reflect together. Again, examples about the field school along the value chains. For long, of course, we all knew field schools are more about crop, soil fertility, pest management, and diseases. But this has moved on. We now talk about farming as a business in the field school, farm management skills, keeping records, cost-benefit analysis. We also focus on post-harvest handling, which is very critical in quality assurance and producing produce, which is marketable. We're talking about marketing strategies, including marketing surveys, marketing as a group, of course, issues of quality standards, packaging, transport come to play. Most importantly, it is the field school in terms of the value chains or agri-businesses are important in building networks and social capital. And that is the only power that you can have in order to have bargaining influence. Just examples of West Africa in terms of the networking with the East African Field School, what they do as well. This is cross-learning, but to highlight the role of facilitating, organizing, guiding, networking, and social capital development is what the field school champions do. This example is on the youth in Uganda using the Nokia, that's the phone, for doing their business. So they are called Nokia farmers or Nokia youth because they provide their services and they also get services through using a phone. And these youths are building their capacity and they now can provide services in a number of ways. This slide basically shows how the youth, the Nokia youth, approach the value chain through all the ladders. But what I want to highlight here is that while they do this, they are conscious of the emerging issues like climate change, hence climate smart agriculture, agribusiness training support to enhance their own capacity, but also the new extension approaches. And these youth are starting to embrace the issues of the field schools. Again, allow me to mention something on the monitoring, evaluation, and learning framework. This framework is being developed by FAO, and I want to highlight only one part about financial and physical part of it, which is more of financial skills which are relevant to help the smallholder farmers to develop their agribusinesses, but also help them in access to markets, including increased incomes and financial security. So both the rural advisory service providers and farmers need these skills to be able to meet the market demands. But overall, this framework shows how social, financial, natural, and human capital can be integrated in the field school and can be measured to show the impact, but also increase the learning in the field school. I want to conclude by saying field schools are a very important empowerment route for agribusiness, both for service providers and clients. It is a way on how we can generate knowledge and information, which is important for improving productivity, reducing crop losses, but also above all, ensuring ecosystems sustainability. Networking and social capital, as I already highlighted, is very critical. Access to credit and finance is important, especially for the young farmers and of course, smallholder farmers. Bulking and marketing is a key thing that the field school can champion in terms of its networking frameworks. the field schools can aggregate both at the sub-county or small units and to the higher levels and form networks which are critical for marketing. Dear participants, I would like to say thank you so much for your attention, and I wish you good deliberations. We'll be happy to definitely receive the outcomes of this meeting that we can use for scaling up some of the good practices that you will deliberate about in this important meeting when we're talking about the future of extension. Again, thank you and greetings from AFAAS and the Field School Hub. Some of you, we may meet during the AFAAS Africa-wide Agriculture Extension Week, which is on the 25th to 29th, and it will be in Côte d'Ivoire, Abidjan. Thank you.